Bonjour, 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 and welcome to French Action, the channel where you learn French and the channel where you improve your French. For many of you, the CSEC French orals has already taken place, but we have to move on, and we have to move on for the writing. I remind you that if you fail the writing, you fail your CSEC French. So today we are going to focus on the directed situation and a letter. So I have two guests today, but you can join in from YouTube and I will correct you too. So let's meet our two guests. All right, so the first guest, you know her already if you followed last week, because she's Anaya.
Oh, bonjour.
Okay, Anaya, it's okay.
Bonjour. Je m'appelle Anaya, j'ai 16 ans, je suis de la Barbade.
Okay, so last week you were with us, okay, for the oral, and you contacted me again, and I said, now I want to do paper 2. You're very brave, you know. So how did your oral go?
It went well, surprisingly well.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And then we have somebody else.
Bonjour, bonjour tout le monde. Je m'appelle El Nathan, j'ai 16 ans. J'allais à Kingston College en Jamaïque.
Okay. Donc, El Nathan is with us, and you did have your oral, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it went well. It
went well as well. Okay. So that's very good. So we have two confident students today with us, okay, because the oral's gone. I know that some of you didn't, well, some of you haven't done their orals yet, but as I said, we have to move on, you know, we have to continue with the writing because we don't have much time for that, okay? All right, so I decided to go through some situations. I make it clear to everyone that you haven't seen the situations, you haven't seen the letter either. So you are a bit nervous as well because you don't know what I'm going to ask you. But I did say before joining us on this platform, that's the way it works, okay? I can't give you all the answers. It would make no sense at all. All right? So the way we're going to do it, I'm going to read the situation the two of you are going to work on the situation. It's not just one and like the oral, you know. Everybody is going to work on the oral, including those who are working with us. So those who are on YouTube, please put your answers and I will correct you if need be. Okay? So I'm just going to read the directed situations. This is what you're going to see on your paper. Write in French, and have you noticed that they put it in capital letter? I don't know if because some people used to write in English, I don't know, but it's in capital letter, okay? Write in French the information required for each of the situations given below. So you don't choose which one, you have to do them all, okay? Do not, and have you noticed that the not is in capital letter? Do not write more than one sentence for each situation. This is very, very important, okay? Sometimes we feel, oh, we can do it in 2-3 sentences. That's not what CXC is interested in. So remember, for that, you have to use your what? Punctuation, okay? Whether it's a comma or it could be a semicolon or so on, okay? So for some situations, a complete sentence may not be necessary. Have you noticed they put not in capital letter, okay? May not be necessary, okay? Do not, another not, translate the situations given. If you don't know the words, find another way of doing it, but do not use abbreviations either. All right? And they carry on saying you will be penalized for disregarding these instructions. Is it clear for both of you? No problem?
Oui, madame.
Okay.
Oui, madame.
Oui, madame.
On continue. Situation numéro 1. So you have the situation and the answer comes just after, okay? So you are going to be a model at a school fair. Write 2 things about the outfit you will wear. Here we go. So you need to write something now. Don't forget to put your answers in the comment, okay? So that we can see them. Okay, très bien. That was fast. Okay, I'm not seeing your answers. Anaya and El Nathan. So a little tip for you, do not write too much, because whether you write more or less, I mean, if you write much more, you're going to make more mistakes, okay? The person who is not going to write as much is still going to have the same number of points as you. So you need to make sure you don't put too much. So, and Nathan and Anaya, I want to see your answers. People on YouTube are already giving their answers. You can't be the last ones. That's not possible. Oh, Anaya, you need to put it in the comment so that everybody can see. Yeah. Sorry, I was kicked out. Can you hear? Can you hear me? Anaya, can you hear me?
Oui,
Yeah.
madam.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry
Oui,
about it.
oui,
Oui,
madame.
madam.
Okay. So, did you put also? I don't see
You
Nathan
need to
and
put
Anaya. I don't see
comment.
your what you have put. I hope you use your name so that I can see your name because
Right, it's not allowing me for some reason to
okay,
put.
all right. So I'm just going to say what you put in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
And Nathan, put it in the chat if it's not showing.
I
Okay.
the private the all right. Okay.
So what? So Anaya put mon robe sera rouge avec pois. Okay. The problem with this one first, Anaya, is robe is feminine. So what should you put? If it's feminine, what should you put? You should put ma robe. Ma robe sera rouge avec des pois. You need to have your article there. Okay. And Nathan said, je vais porter une cravate noire, une chemise blanche. That's very good. No problem. Okay. So most people have put the right answer. Marlene, je porterai une robe simple et moderne ou un pantalon bien ajusté avec une blouse élégante. Oh là 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 là. Okay, très bien. Okay, so I think you got this. Okay. So now, because I was kicked out, they kicked out everything. So let me give you this again. All right. So I just put, je porterai une robe longue noire. Okay. I put this, but it's interesting the way you put it because it's two things. One, it's long, and two, it's black. And I put je porterai, je vais porter is fine as well. Okay. Um, but everybody here got it right. Nathan 67 is une chemise blanche. Okay, chemise is feminine, so you need to have une chemise blanche. Okay, so I'm just choosing any. I like this. Je vais porter une robe rose, un motif floraux et des chaussures violettes. Okay, so that's very nice. Okay. Motif is the pattern. Floral means flowers. Okay. So flowery patterns. Très bien. And this one is very nice, but obviously you don't need to put all this. Okay. Just, je porterai une robe simple et moderne. Would probably be just enough. Okay. All right. Merci. So now we're moving to number 2. A newspaper column in a French-speaking country carries prediction for the next day's weather. What does it say? So here you can say anything you want. Okay, this should be very quick. You could even say it. Alors, be careful here. It says a newspaper column in a French-speaking countries carries predictions for the next day's weather. Okay, next day's weather. What does it say? Okay. Anaya? Okay, Anaya, you say il faisait beau. It's the wrong tense. That wouldn't work. Okay. What about you, El Nathan? Yes, it should be il fera beau, Anaya. Okay, that is the right tense now. Okay, El Nathan, what have you put? I'm not seeing it in the chat. Okay, so those who put
Can that work? Il
just
fera du soleil.
what? Sorry, what did you say, El Nathan?
No, I was saying, can what I put work?
Oh, sorry, I didn't see. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Il fera du soleil. Okay. All right. It's fine. Il fera beau, il fera du soleil is fine. But I think you missed one little word there, which many of you didn't. For example, let's use this one. Il pleuvra demain. Because it says the next day's weather. Okay. So just put demain, just in case that if you don't put it, they give you something else. Okay. All right, so another example, il y aura du vent demain. Okay, somebody else put le temps sera mitigé avec de la pluie et du soleil. Okay, you don't need to be the person who said il fera beau demain will have the same number of points as the person who says le temps sera mitigé avec de la pluie et du soleil. Okay, so but it's just to give you certain, examples of what you could say. Now, if you say love il froid, that will not work, okay? Because there's no verb there. All right? So what did I put? I put il fera chaud demain, il pleuvra demain, il y aura du soleil. I missed the demain, but il y aura du soleil demain. You need to put the demain. Okay? All right. So this was just to give you some examples. Now, numéro 3. So I'm going to number 4 because number 3 has the answer. A relative has given you an item which you have always wanted as a gift. Write a note of gratitude. Okay, so have you come up with anything? Anaya and Nathan, you have to learn to write fast because remember, you have 4 activities, So you have to do it quickly. Okay, KK, yes. Okay, sapphire face, very good. But after the comma, you cannot have a capital letter, and chaussette has 2 S's. Okay. So El Nathan say merci beaucoup pour mon vélo, and Anaya says merci beaucoup pour. Why did you say pour un ordinateur? Thanks very much for the computer, not for a computer, right, Anaya? Okay, all right. Okay, so if I go back to comments, you will see that, yes, so for example, okay, this one, you don't really need to say all this, but merci pour l'ordinateur que je voulais depuis longtemps, Oncle Jim. Okay. Okay, for this one, it's a good one, but remember, there's 2 S's at chaussette. Okay, or just put this. Merci beaucoup pour le cadeau with EAU. Okay. Or this one. Merci beaucoup pour ce cadeau. Je l'adore. Okay. All right. Okay, so you know how to express gratitude. That's very good. So, Tati, je te remercie pour l'ordinateur. That's all I put because that's a way of writing. When you write, you can say merci, but you can also say je te remercie. I thank you. Okay? So that's fine. Number 5. You send an email to your friend explaining why you cannot attend an event. What does the email say? So, hug. Hug. Merci beaucoup, je l'avais toujours. What does that mean, je l'avais toujours? I'm not sure I understand that. I'm talking to HUGH6156. Merci beaucoup is fine. Je l'avais toujours. I don't understand that one. Okay, so now we are on number 5. Okay, KK is fine. Parce que j'ai un rendez-vous chez le dentiste. Très bien. Désolée, je ne peux pas aller au cinéma quand je dois faire mes devoirs. Très bien. Alors, Quask, je dois étudier. Remember, 2 verbs follow each other. The second should always be in the infinitive form. So you cannot have an E with an accent. An E with an accent like that is the past in the past tense. Okay? Alors, Ariella, je ne peux pas. Je ne peux pas. You need to remember that the T is only for the he or the she. Okay? And you need to remember as well, when you have beaucoup, which is a common mistake I see, is beaucoup de. You need to have your de for a lot of, okay? All right, so Elnathan said, quel dommage, je ne peux pas venir au concert car je suis malade. Alors, the problem you have, Elnathan, you put quel dommage, you put a full stop, that makes 2 sentences.
Oh, yes. 1 sentence rule. 1 sentence rule.
All
no
right.
Full stops
So,
after the end. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So you couldn't be using that one. Okay. Alors, Anaya says, je suis occupée avec étudie. What does that mean? Je suis occupée avec étudie. Je ne peux pas venir au cinéma. Alors, je suis occupée avec étudie. That doesn't make sense. Okay. So, alors, I'm very impressed with what I see in the comments. You are all doing very well, but you need to remember for some of you, so je peux is with an X. Je serai occupé or je suis occupé. You need to have your accent, and if you're female, it's an E. Okay? You need to think about all this when you write. Okay? Alors, Anaya, you change, je suis occupée avec études. Alors, études is fine, but here again, Anaya, you keep missing your articles. All right? So you need to make sure you put your articles. Okay? So what I put here is just, je suis désolée, je ne pourrai pas venir à ta fête parce que j'ai quelque chose de prévu. Okay? I'm sorry, I will not be able to come to your party because I have something arranged. Okay? So this is very general. I put quelque chose de prévu just for those who don't know the expression. Okay? But whatever you put in the comment is fine. Okay? Parce que je dois aider mon père, parce que je suis malade. Fine. Cafiziola, your answer, malheureusement, je ne peux pas assister à cet événement, je m'en excuse. This is 2 sentences. They said 1 sentence, okay? And don't forget, je peux with an X, okay? All right? So let's move to number 6. At the zoo, visitors sometimes feed the animals. So write a sign that forbids the practice and a likely penalty. Alors, KK is fine, but you need to remember that 300 euros, 100 has an S because you said 300, okay? And that is very good. Alors, Anaya says, il est interdit de nourrir les animaux. That is fine, but this is a partial. You will not get the full number of points because you just write, what you did is write a sign that forbids the practice, but a likely penalty, that is missing, okay? So you will not get the full, I think it's full 3 points. You wouldn't get everything. It will be partial, okay? So just for KK, 300 euros is spelled like this, okay? But if I say 350, it will be like this, okay? So this is just to, I'm just saying that you need to, 350, the 100 would not have the S, okay? So you have to be careful. Alors, Wage, c'est interdit. Se nourrir les animaux is incorrect. You can't have se here. Okay? All right. So, il est interdit de nourrir les animaux ou vous serez puni. That's fine. That's good. Okay, so El Nathan and Anaya, I'm not seeing anything. Guys, you're too slow. Yes. So Anaya, you had done a bit, but El Nathan didn't give me anything. Alors, Anaya, il est interdit de nourrir les animaux. On sera demandera partir. That makes no sense. Okay. You wanted to say on vous demandera de partir. That can work. Okay. All right, Nathan, I'm not seeing anything from you. Okay.
I didn't really know how to say like you will be kicked out or something like that. So
now, but remember, they did say it's no translation. Okay, somebody else is saying nourrissez les animaux and You can have N. N is English. Vous risquez une amende d'au moins 30 euros. Oh, 30 euros is not a lot. 30 euros is not really a lot. Il est interdit de donner la nourriture aux animaux ou vous voulez avoir parti. Vous voulez avoir parti doesn't make sense. Vous voulez means you want. Avoir is to have and partir is to leave. So I'm not sure what you're saying here. Alors, Benjamin said, il est interdit de donner la nourriture aux animaux. Non, pardon. Tu ne peux pas donner à manger aux animaux, sinon tu devras payer. Okay. That one, I don't think that we will see this in a sign because of the tu, okay? When you say tu, you don't know, it can be anybody, so we're not going to use tu, okay? All right, so this is what I put. Défense, because it's a sign, okay? So signs are going to be fairly short. And défense de nourrir les animaux is what you're more likely to say. And sous peine d'amende, this is the proper way of seeing it as a sign. Now, if you didn't know sous peine d'amende, whatever you put there is fine, okay? Il est interdit de... let's see this one. Il est interdit de donner à manger aux animaux ou il y aura une amende. That's fine. Amende is feminine, okay? Not an amende, but une amende, okay? So something like that will work. Il est interdit. No, it wasn't this one. I was trying to. Yes, that one I liked. Il est interdit de nourrir les animaux ou vous serez puni. Okay, that could work. All right. Okay.
Can my response work?
Nathan.
Can my response work? Yeah.
Yes, I'm just looking at your answer. Il est interdit à nourrir. That doesn't work. Il est interdit de nourrir. Okay. It's not à, it's de nourrir. And it's les animaux, not animal with an S. Okay, that doesn't work. And the tu definitely would not work. Okay? Ça va?
So vous, right? So it would be vous then. Vous.
Well, yes. If you have to choose, yeah, it has to be vous. It can't be tu. Okay, remember, tu is for members of family, friends, people you know. When you don't know people, and especially in a sign like that, it will have to be a vous. Okay, but if you're talking about a penalty, is sous peine d'amende. Okay. All right. So Benjamin, you'll have to change all this with the vous. Okay. Okay. So.
Oui. Oui, madame.
Johnny said il est interdit de nourrir les animaux sous peine d'une amende de 30 euros. I keep saying you need to put 130. Okay. All right. So, Ayela, I'm sorry, I can't answer that question. All right. But it is paper 2. All right. Number 7, today's newspaper has several precautions that should be taken during a storm. Write 2 of these precautions. Okay? Okay, I'm not seeing anything. Ah, all right. Okay, KK. Okay. The form of the verb is incorrect. Okay, Cleo, yes, that can work. Okay, Quacks, that can work too. Okay, so have I got anything from Anaya and El Nathan? Yes, KK, yes, that's what you have to use. I'm not saying anything because they haven't provided me with a response. El Nathan and Anaya, you're too slow. Oh la 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 la. If you take so long, you will be struggling to finish
I don't know
paper
what
the
to say
paper
with this.
two. Okay, so all right.
Yeah, I don't know
And Nathan
for
said,
this
vous
one.
pouvez rester chez vous. Vous pouvez rester chez vous. It says two precautions. This is one. And vous pouvez means you can stay at home. You don't want to say you can stay during a storm. I wouldn't agree with that. Okay. Ok. Benjamin, pendant une tempête, il faut rester à l'intérieur et éviter de sortir. Très bien. That's very good. Okay, Noel, you can't say rester la maison. Okay. You missed something, and that is one. It says write two. So if you give one, you will not get the full points. Okay. Anaya, I haven't seen anything from you. Ah, ok. And Nathan says il est interdit d'aller dehors. Il est interdit. Okay, remember it's a precautions. Okay, when you say interdit, normally when it's interdit, then you have a fine. Here it's a precaution. So it's not quite what is expected. Okay. Okay, Jaden, you can't use two because it's today's newspaper, you know. We're talking about the newspaper. Why would they use two? They will have they can't use two. And tu pourrais rester à la maison. Pourrait means could, which is not quite what we want to see. And et boisson, l'eau, I don't know what this related to. Okay. So this one, what I put rester à la maison, which is what somebody had put before, et écouter la radio pour tout conseil. Okay. Rester à la maison et écouter la radio pour tout conseil. This is something like that you could see in a newspaper. But for all those like Jaden and Sapphire Faith, you cannot use two. And also, you have to remember that they talk about two things. So when you put one, it's not going to, you will not get the full 3 points because you only put one thing. Rester à la maison is one, et écouter la radio is the second one. Okay? Have you noticed? I didn't put anything fancy here. I just put rester à la maison with the EZ because it's the imperative form, and écouter la radio is again, something, two verbs, ER verbs, very simple to conjugate. Just put the EZ. Okay. So, Patricia, c'est il ne faut pas partir. Alors, partir, you have to be careful because partir has a preposition. So, okay. And you have to remember where you need to put your pas. Il ne faut pas quitter la maison et il ne faut pas conduire rapidement. Okay? But if you don't leave the house, you will not drive, right? Alors, somebody else put, vous devriez avoir des piles et une lumière. Okay, but when they talk about two precautions, they want two verbs, okay? So think about that, two verbs. Okay, number 8, the French club sends a note to members canceling their next meeting and giving an explanation. What does the note say? With what? I missed a little punctuation thing here. Okay, question mark. What does the note say? Alors, KK, yes, it's good. But remember, we don't say la réunion prochaine, we say la prochaine réunion. Okay? So it comes before. Prochain is one of these few adjectives which comes before. Okay? If you want to say next month, you would say le mois prochain. Okay? Alors, love, it's you can't say non rendezvous, that cannot work. And parce que, you miss the ce. And when you have parce que, you need to have another sentence with that, okay? So that will not work. Kesho Hunter, the French club sends a note to members canceling their next meeting and giving an explanation. Désolé, j'ai mal à la tête. I think you need to say that it was cancelled. Okay. Okay, pas de réunion. Anaya says, pas de réunion parce que le capitaine ou le président? It's le président d'un club, Anaya, not le capitaine. Parce que le capitaine est malade. So you want to say pas de réunion parce que le président du club est malade. Something like that? Yeah? Okay, that could work. Alors, la réunion est annulée à cause d'une tempête. OK, that can work. Nous sommes désolés, mais la réunion de la semaine prochaine est annulée. Très bien. À cause de l'ouragan Melissa, la réunion est annulée. Alors, here again, you have la réunion Annulé, to is, okay, and prochaine should be before. Le club de français, okay, you can't have heard, you can't say ne sera pas une réunion, that can't work. And parce que, when you use parce que, you need to start another sentence, okay. Je suis désolée, la réunion ne peut pas avoir lieu à cause de la tempête, that works. Malheureusement, there's a you missing there, Caficiola. La prochaine réunion n'aura pas lieu car le lieu n'est pas disponible. Alors, I don't like this because of the repetition of lieu. N'aura pas lieu car le lieu n'est pas disponible. You could have said la salle n'est pas disponible, but repeating lieu is not really nice. Il n'y aura pas de réunion car la salle ne sera pas ouverte jeudi prochain. That can work. And El Nathan says, il n'y aura pas de réunion car l'école est finie. So you think that the French club wouldn't know that school would be finished and they would put on a meeting? I think it's better to cancel for bad weather, something like that. Yeah?
Okay.
OK. La réunion de cette semaine est annulée parce que j'ai mal à la tête. OK. So what did I put? I put la réunion est annulée à cause du mauvais temps. Voilà. That's all you needed to say. À cause du mauvais temps. Okay. So those who put parce que, I think because for them it was parce que is because of. No, parce que means because, not because of. So à cause de is because of. Okay, and of course we have le mauvais temps, so the de and the le changes into du. Okay, donc la réunion est annulée à cause du mauvais temps. Okay, so now we're moving to 9. You have found an item which a classmate had misplaced. Leave him a note saying where you found the item. Okay, cash hotel. Okay, that is fine. Okay, Quask, that is fine as well. Okay, Stello as well. Okay, I've noticed that each time you type, you're not putting any final full stop. Remember, a sentence starts with a capital letter and ends with a full stop, okay? Okay, KK, that was good. And alors, El Sanjay, where you put the pronouns is incorrect, and we don't know what you found, okay? Okay, Benjamin, yes. Kevon, fine. Alors, stylo is masculine. So if you have a word which is masculine, you can't have set, but you have to say ce. Okay? El Nathan says, j'ai trouvé ton portable sous la table. Okay, that will work. Okay. Alors, love, that doesn't work. Je trouve ton télé what? Téléphone, is that what you mean? Or télévision? It's not clear. And not en bus. En bus, you would use en when you're talking about how you're going there. but you want to say on the bus, okay? So inside the bus, okay? Alors, Patricia, if you say hier, you remember that you need to have the past tense, okay? And for this one, we're going to use the past tense as well. Alors, Anaya put, voici le stylo, il était dans la table, did you say? Anaya, dans la table? Anaya, it's not dans la table. And Nathan, what would you say? Sur la table, ok? Donc, j'ai trouvé ton stylo dans la classe, j'ai trouvé ton argent de poche, c'était dans la cantine. Johnny Williams, it's 2 sentences. Remember, it has to be 1 sentence. You would be penalized for that. Ok, Noël, j'ai trouvé ton crayon rouge à la bibliothèque. It's fine. Hier, j'ai trouvé ton stylo dans la bibliothèque. Ok, and yeah, Anaya, the problem wasn't la table. The problem was the dans. You said inside the table. We can't go inside the table, okay? So, Saphir, Faith, calculatrice is feminine, so you cannot have ton, okay? And you didn't say what it was. Se trouve is found our classroom. You miss your preposition, okay? So Anaya, yes, it is sûr, okay? So this is what I put, Paul. So first of all, I put the name of the person. J'ai trouvé, I have found, ton livre de français à la cafétéria. Or it could be canteen, bibliothèque, or whatever, okay? I missed the little accent at cafétéria. Sometimes I put the accent and then by the time I type, it's gone again. I know you have the same problem. Je vu votre stylo. That would not work, Brianna, because 1, the past tense is incorrect, and 2, you put votre. Votre is only for when you use vous, and here is a classmate. So you have to use the tu form, okay? Johnny Williams, I told you, you cannot have 2 sentences, okay? Jaden, j'ai trouvé ton stylo avant. What avant? Avant means before. Okay, j'ai trouvé ton crayon sous le bureau. So it looks like you understand what you have to do. That's very good. So let's go to let's go to my last one. I put 9, but it should be 10. Your older cousin who usually takes you to school leaves a note for you instructing you not to wait for him, and it gives you a reason. Okay. Alors, ton sac à dos était à la café? Non, était au café. Café is masculine. Ok, Kesho Hunter, ne m'attends pas parce que je suis déjà partie. Ok, ne m'attends pas, je serai en retard. Ok, très bien. Tu ne dois pas m'attendre parce que je suis malade. Ok, why guys, you're all doing very well with those directed situations. So I don't think I will need to do another live for this. You seem to know what you're doing. So, Brianna, ne m'attends pas parce que je suis déjà partie au travail. OK. Noël, you put n'attends pas, but where is the me? Don't wait for me. Je suis malade et ne peux pas. Okay, I'm going to correct this. It's incorrect. Okay. Ok, Anaya sait, je ne peux pas t'emmener à l'école parce que je dois travailler. Travailler, you miss your R, Anaya. Two verbs follow each other. The second takes the infinitive form. Okay. All right. So let's look at other. Alors, ne m'attends pas, je joue un match de je joue à un match de ping-pong. Love, don't forget your articles. Patricia, je suis désolée, mais je ne venir pas pour moi. It doesn't work because you didn't conjugate your verb. Okay, so that is incorrect. Tu ne dois pas attendre, tu ne dois pas m'attendre parce que je suis fatiguée. OK. Alors, Johnny Williams, it was nearly correct, but you said ne m'attendez pas. That is formal. And we're talking about the cousin. Cousin is it's a, you know, cousin is family members, so you will not use that, okay? The same for Kershama. You cannot say ne m'attendez pas, okay? OK, ne m'attends pas parce que je vais être en retard. OK, what did I put? I put ne m'attends pas, je dois aller voir un ami malade à l'hôpital. OK, ne m'attends pas. This is what you need to learn by heart. Don't wait for me, and that is the informal part. Now, if you want to use the formal part because they're talking about a formal situation, you would have to say ne m'attendez pas, EZ at the end. Okay? Now, whatever you put is fine, but I'm going to. J'ai une retenue. I don't know if people, if El Nathan and Anaya, you know what une retenue is?
To return?
No.
No.
So you never got une retenue at school? What is une retenue, Anaya?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, when you've done something wrong, what happens? You've done something wrong at school and they ask you to stay at school. What is that?
Oh, detention.
Exactly. Okay.
Retinue
So
detention.
if you didn't know the word, thank you for that, Kershama. J'ai une retenue. But instead of saying ne m'attendez pas, you should have put j'ai une retenue, ne m'attends pas. Okay. Okay. I saw something before, but I can't remember. Okay, I think it was Patricia. I was just going to correct this because it's not correct. Okay. Patricia, you need to say ne m'attends pas. I think that's the best thing to say. Ne m'attends pas. Ne m'attends pas parce que ma voiture ne marche pas. Voilà. OK? Alors, somebody, I can't see who put it, but somebody used, I think it was emmener. Was it you, Anaya? Je ne peux pas t'emmener à l'école. Yes, it was Anaya. Okay. What's the difference between amener and emmener? Ne m'attends pas parce que ma voiture est en panne. That's very good as well. Okay. Amener. What is the difference between amener and emmener? And Nathan and Anaya. Anybody from the audience? What's the difference between amener and emmener? No? What's the difference if I say je t'amène à l'école, je t'emmène à l'école? What's the difference? Or is there any difference? For I take you to school. Alors, Johnny Williams say amener means to bring and emmener means to take away. Okay. Okay, to bring, I would say is apporter, Johnny. Apporter, je t'apporte un coca. I bring you a Coke. All right. Okay, so Anaya thinks you're the one who put it. Amener is to take someone to school, okay? So you leave the home, you take the person to school, and you leave the person at school, and you go back home. Okay? Emmener, it means, je t'emmène à l'école, it means I go with you to school, I take you to school, but I stay at school with you as well. That's a slight difference. Okay? But it means the same thing.
And you said that apporter means like to bring.
To bring, yeah. Je t'apporte quelque chose. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that's the difference. Okay. So how are you feeling, guys? 1 hour doing situations. You know, you're not going to have 1 hour on the day, you know. You know that. You'll have to be much quicker. Yeah? All right. So now the next thing is going to be a letter. All right? So how are you feeling now? Tired? Brain is dead? Not yet. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good.
No,
okay,
not
so
really.
letter writing. Sorry, what did you say, Elnathan?
Sure.
No, I was saying no, not really.
Okay, that's good. Okay. So Love said we, she's tired, or he's tired. All right. But remember, you know, we've done it in 1 hour because I was correcting you as well. But on the day, you have to write quickly. Anaya and El Nathan, you're too slow. I'm telling you already, if you spend so much time on the situations, you might not be able to finish the letter. And remember, you have other stuff to do. It's a lot of stuff to do, you know. You have the letter writing, you have the contextual dialogue, and you have some reading.
I think it's the typing.
Sorry, Anaya? Anaya?
No, I was saying it's the typing because I have to look for the right accents. I think writing is a little quicker from paper.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm I'm kind of writing them both. I'm writing it in my book now. I also typing, so yeah, that's it's true. Typing kind of make it look a bit slower, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But I'm just telling you for the day. Okay. All right. All right. Letter writing. I hope you haven't done that one. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to give you the instructions. If you don't know the instructions, which I'm sure you all do, uh, you have to be, you have to think about this. Using one of the following outlines as a guide, write in French a letter of no more than 130 to 150 words. Use the tense or tenses appropriate to the topic which you have chosen. Do not write your real name and address, but include the date in French and use the appropriate beginning and ending. You will be penalized for disregarding these instructions. All right. So, looking at that, what are the main things you have to remember? Anaya and El Nathan.
Tense use. You have to remember tense use, and then you have to remember like certain structure things, like even today. I wrote a letter, but I didn't write the address and so forth to the right. I didn't write it to the right. So yeah.
Okay. I am not sure if the address is so important, um, but it's when you start out, with the date. Okay, you have to put your date. Okay, and also make sure you don't put your real name because it's anonymous. Okay, you know that. So, all right. So that is one. Anything else?
I'm
It's
not sure.
very important.
Want
Maybe
to
just
understand the
look at.
question, know what you're writing on.
Mm,
Yes, something which is crucial.
I suppose just make sure so you understand. Yeah. Just understand what they're asking you and try to follow the instructions to that point.
That's not what I was looking for.
Can you give me a
No
second, please?
guarantees. Sorry, anything?
No, I was asking if you could give me a second. I
Yeah.
need to do something real quick. Thank you.
Anaya. Oh, come on, guys.
Um,
It's in front of you.
you mean the word limit? Word
Okay. The
or
crucial,
following cues?
no, the crucial thing here is the number of words. This is crucial. If you write 100 words, that's not going to be enough. If you write 170 words, it's going too many words. So you have to make sure that it's between 130 and 150, because after 150 words, that's it. They're not going to read anymore. And then if they stop reading at 150, it means you don't have an ending. And that obviously is going to affect your grade. So the crucial part is no more than 130 to 150. This is the part you need to look at. Okay? Very, very important. All right. So just a few tips. Remember to write the date and the place where you're writing from. It's not just the date, but also you have to put the city or the place where you're writing from. It doesn't have to be the real city. It can be, that is not very important. Put a space between paragraphs, okay? Write legibly. That is very important because if examiners cannot understand your writing, I'm an examiner for the DELF, for example, and if we can't understand the writing, I ask other colleagues, what do you think that the person has tried to say? But if we can't understand, we can't give any marks for that because we don't know what it is. So it's very, very important to write legibly. Try to use some idioms. This is especially for those who are aiming for the one, because if you're aiming for the one, you need idioms. If there's no idioms, but your letter is very good, normally the best grade you can get is a two, top two, but it's still a two. Okay, so
I don't know.
you need to have idioms. Okay, and try
I
to
don't.
show that you can use various tenses. Okay, if it's possible. Okay, and of course keep to the word limit. Very, very important. Otherwise, you're going to be penalized. All right. So this is our letter. You've just been successful in a scholarship interview to study at a university in France. Write a letter to your pen pal in which you, one, state how you found out about the scholarship. Two, relate what happened. Did you hear what happened when you were interviewed for the scholarship? Three, describe what this opportunity involves. And four, outline the preparations you will make for your trip to France. Okay? So I can't go any further than that because my letter comes after this. Okay? So I'm going to give you some time to write your letter. Okay? I don't want you to spend 1 hour. Okay? But what I would like to see in the comments, I would like to see, state how you found out about the scholarship. Okay, so let's work on each prompt for the time being. So number one, state how you found out about the scholarship. Okay, so what would you say? Remember, it's a letter. Okay, and you're writing to your pen pal. So is it a formal letter or informal letter? And Nathan.
It's a formal letter. Oh, you're no, it's not formal. It's informal. Okay, right to your pen pal.
Informal. You're writing to your pen pal. Okay, so we are going to use the tu. Okay. Yes, Aliyah, informal. That's correct. So it's going to be informal. So remember, I don't want to see vous or vote. Nothing like that. I don't want to see EZ. Okay, if you're giving an order, nothing like that. Okay, so very quickly, can you state how you found out about the scholarship? And don't worry, we won't have time to write the full letter. You won't have time to write the full letter, but I will show you my letter as an example. So state how you found out about the scholarship. Okay? I hope you know the word for scholarship, right? Okay, now that is a problem if you don't know the word for scholarship. Okay, une bourse is scholarship. Okay. Alors, love, you said mon professeur, sor is professeur. D is not D. D will not work. OK. Prod, j'ai trouvé cette bourse. We don't find a scholarship. Okay. You find out about a scholarship, but you don't find a scholarship. It's not something. Okay. All right. So, El Nathan, I'm going to, I like this. I'm going to copy and see if I can put what you said. J'ai entendu parler d'une bourse par mon professeur. OK, we can say that. OK, j'ai entendu parler de la bourse à la télé. Alors, OK, Leah is fine, but love and Podquill, that will not work. OK. Alors, I'm going to correct love. OK. I'm waiting for you, Anaya. Mon professeur m'a parlé d'une bourse. Okay. I know that you have learned à propos de means about, but not in this context. It depends on the verb you're using. So parler is parler de. Mon professeur m'a parlé d'une bourse. As simple as that. Okay? Okay. I have put the word for a scholarship already, Anaya, in the comment. Okay? Bourse. If you look at the comments, bourse is the word for scholarship. Okay? Alors, I like that. Je suis tombée sur une bourse en surfant sur Internet. Okay. All right. Okay, so number 2, relate what happened when you were interviewed for the scholarship. For those who have finished, relate what happened when you were interviewed for the scholarship. Alors, quand je suis retournée d'école, ma mère... Elson J, that's not right. Quand alors, you say quand je suis retournée de l'école, not d'école. You keep forgetting your articles, okay? Ma mère m'a parlé. You keep using dear, but dear doesn't work well with that. M'a parlé de la bourse que j'ai reçue. And here we have to have this extra E because bourse is placed before avoir in the past tense, okay? So this is for you, for your, I'm just correcting what you put, okay? Ok, j'étais très nerveux, ok. That is fine, j'étais très nerveux. Even though it's only 3 words, but that's fine. Ok. Alors, Ania and El Nathan. Ok, pendant l'interview, j'étais très stressée. Alors, be careful. What is the word for interview? Yes, and interview is interview when we're talking about something on TV, for example. You know, journalist interviews somebody who is well known, l'interview works there. But when we're talking about job interview, it's a different matter, and it's called un entretien. Okay? Un entretien. And it's called un entretien d'embauche. Embaucher means to employ, okay? Donc, un entretien d'embauche. All right? And Nathan, I'm sorry, I'm not going to read what you've said because it makes no sense. Okay?
Okay.
I'm not going to read that. What do you mean, Anaya? Le jour de la bourse? On the day of the scholarship? Bourse is scholarship, you know. J'étais très nerveuse. Heureusement, la dame était gentille. That's fine. Okay, so you have to be careful with the word with bourse. You know why? Because bourse is a scholarship, but it's also something else. Bourse, when we're talking about Wall Street in New York, what is bourse? When you speculate, what is that?
I am so confused. In New York?
Yes. Yeah, what I'm trying to say to you is that bourse has different words, different meanings, okay? So that's why you need to make sure that, you know, yeah? Okay, so bourse is also stock exchange. Okay, I don't think you will get that in CSEC, but bourse means stock exchange, okay? So, so bourse is stock exchange on one hand, but also scholarship, okay?
Oui, madame.
Alors, prod Kindle, c'est quand l'entretien, when the interview what? Quelque chose a dit moi pour partir. Oh là là, no, that doesn't work. Many of you have problems with pronouns when you have to say me. You need to remember that the me always comes before the verb, okay? Okay. Quelque chose m'a dit de partir, not pour, but de partir, okay? All right? Quelque chose m'a dit, not quelque chose a dit moi. Moi, that doesn't work, okay? All right? Okay. So, Anaya, you wanted to say le jour de l'entretien, the day of the interview. Okay. So, Nathan, what you said was incorrect. You're not going to correct that. All right. Okay.
I'm trying.
Describe what this opportunity involves. Number 3. Alors, prodding call, you can't say quand l'entretien commence because this is present tense and we're talking about something in the past, okay? So you have to use the past tense, okay? quadrilingual pendant l'entretien will work, most definitely. I think the TV is a bit loud. I'm just going to tell them to be a bit more on the quiet side. Okay, so Gamsi says, je peux habiter sur le campus et il y a une cantine où je peux manger. Why not? That could work. Okay, so nothing. Okay, it says describe what this opportunity involves. Okay, you said je peux habiter sur le campus, il y a une cantine où je peux manger, but is it what this scholarship is going to do for you, Gamsi? Remember, the scholarship is to study at a university in France. I think you can put much more than that. Okay, that would be the last thing to mention. Okay, but the opportunity would be to study at a university in France, and can you imagine what it would involve? Okay. I'm sorry, we can't write in English. English is not accepted. Okay. Okay, Hugh says, je pourrais aller. You can't say à la France. I'm sure you know what it is. Je pourrais aller France et je serai l'interne. Je vais vivre là-bas gratuitement. Ok. D'accord. Ok. You need to change. It can't be à la France.
I answered 3. I tried it. I tried it in the chat.
Sorry, Nathan, I didn't get that.
Oh no, I said that I tried question 3 for the letter.
Yeah, but what I'm seeing, you said avec l'entretien. Je pouvais is the past. Okay. Okay, so the tense is wrong. Okay. Anaya? I'm not reading what you wrote. Incorrect. Okay, so that part, it looks like many of you describe what this opportunity involves. Okay, number 4, outline the preparations you will make for your trip to France. Okay. Alors, je peux étudier une langue étrangère. Ok. Une langue étrangère. Ok. Je dois obtenir mon passeport et mon visa. Ok. Ok, all right. Why not? All right, so it looks, somebody says, je vais aller à l'ambassade la semaine prochaine pour obtenir mon visa étudiant. That is, yeah, that is a good preparation. Okay. Mais le visa, ça coûte les yeux de la tête. I like this. This is a very good expression. Means it costs a lot of money. Je vais amener tous mes vêtements et dire au revoir à mes parents. Je vais amener tous mes vêtements. Des vêtements de marque. Okay, all right. Okay. Can you all now write something, your conclusion at the end? What would you say at the end?
Was my answer right for the third one?
I think I've already. Oh, sorry, I missed it. Je vais acheter un billet d'avion et préparer un sac pour mon voyage. That works very well. Yes, I hadn't seen it. Sorry. Okay. Okay, I would like to see how you finish the letter, because remember, when you have the letter, you need to ensure that you have a beginning and the end. I've seen letters with no end, and that doesn't work well. J'espère profiter. Profiter is profiter de cette expérience. There's a preposition after. J'ai tellement hâte, je suis très reconnaissante pour cette opportunité. Remember, opportunité is feminine, so you will not have CET. Okay, duo, what would you have? Okay, when I ask for the end, I would like you to write the last two sentences up to your name, okay? I want to see how you're going to end the letter. Okay, so you put that sentence, for example, sleo and duo. Then how do you finish off? That's what I want to see. Okay? Ok, je suis heureux de cette opportunité, El Nathan. Okay, but how do you actually finish off after that? What would you say? Okay. Bonne discussion, j'espère que tu répondras et sois prudent. Okay. And then you put your name. Okay. J'ai l'intention de passer un bon temps en France. Temps is masculine, so you can have bon. Ok, en France, on verra. Ok. Ok, Nathan put, je suis heureux de cette opportunité. Ton ami Marc. Ok. Okay. I think you all managed to write something, which is good. Remember, Prod Quindle, after espérer, you're hoping that the person will have a good weekend, so it's going to be a future, okay? Ok, Lia, c'est tout pour le moment, j'ai hâte de te lire, ok, why not, that's good. J'espère que j'apprends beaucoup, you miss the you, à beaucoup de what? I can see, de français, et je fais tant des amis. No, that is incorrect. Remember, when you have j'espère, you need to have the future because you're hoping. Okay. All right. Ania, merci de t'écouter. Écris-moi vite. You mean merci de m'écouter. For a letter, it's a bit difficult to use écouter because you're not talking to the person. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to read Prodwin Quindle, I told you can't be vous is your pen pal. Okay, so you cannot. Okay, Bisou doesn't have an X, Anaya. Okay. And bon, no. Okay, this is what I put. For prompt, state how you found out about the scholarship. So I put cher ami, but cher whoever. Ok, j'espère que tu vas bien. Je t'écris pour t'annoncer une nouvelle incroyable. J'ai obtenu une bourse ou j'ai décroché une bourse. For those who want the one, ok? J'ai décroché une bourse pour étudier en France et not à la France, ok? J'ai découvert cette opportunité par hasard, by chance, grâce à, thanks to, mon professeur de français. So that is my first prompt. You see how you can start. J'espère que tu vas bien. I hope you're well. But if you're talking about something which is going to be in the future, you have to use the future after the que. Okay? Then you say what you're writing. What's the reason for your writing? Je t'écris. And in this case, is pour t'annoncer une nouvelle incroyable. An unbelievable news or piece of news. J'ai obtenu une bourse. I got a scholarship. J'ai décroché une bourse. I won a scholarship. Okay? And then remember it says, state how you found out about the scholarship, but you can't just start by saying how you discovered it. You have to give a context first, okay? And that's the reason why you need to say, I'm writing for ta 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 ta. And so you're putting the context and then you put your prompt, okay? Any questions, Anaya and Nathan?
So whenever we're starting, okay, whenever we're starting, right? My teacher says that, okay, so this is the j'espère que tout va bien. Hope you're well. Are there any? Can you give us like some more examples of ways to start it?
And Nathan, sorry.
Yeah.
All the videos on that have that. When you see letters, you're
Okay.
going to see, because I always give a letter as an example, and
Mhm.
I don't necessarily start the same way each time. Okay.
Okay.
So if you
Mhm.
go through the videos, you're going to see different starts. But you could just say, comment ça va? And that is fine.
Okay.
You can say,
So
comment ça va? Moi, ça va bien. If you write that, it's still fine. Okay?
the part in it about par hazard grace, that is saying that is their French professor who told them about it.
It's not a French professor, it's French teacher.
Oh, French teacher. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Par hasard is by chance, meaning he or she didn't talk about it, but within a conversation, it came up. And I said, oh, yes, I'm interested. Okay. So this is obviously when I do my lives, I would like you to live my life with something. I don't want just to put the usual things. Okay. But of course, if you want grade 1, you need to put idioms. If you don't put idioms, you will just get a grade 2, maybe a top grade 2, but not a grade 1. Okay. So par hasard, that is a possibility, but grâce à, thanks to, which we use quite a lot. Okay. All right, so then I'm going to go to prompt number 2. Okay. Relate what happened when you were interviewed for the scholarship. All right, I put quite a lot of stuff here. Le jour de l'entretien, j'étais nerveux, or j'étais nerveuse if you're a female. But I put j'avais le trac. Okay, avoir le trac means to have stage fright. Okay, it's to be very very nervous. Mais j'ai pris mon courage à deux mains. But I pluck up courage. That is an expression. Prendre son courage à deux mains. You see the courage is there and I take it like that. All right. Then I give a little context as well because it says relate what happened. I can't just say I was nervous and leave it like that. I have to put a bit more because remember it's 130 words minimum. Okay? Les examinateurs m'ont posé plusieurs questions. So the examiners asked me several questions sur mes projets, on my projects, et mes motivations, and my motivations to go to France. Okay? Heureusement, fortunately, tout s'est bien passé. Everything went well. Et j'ai réussi à répondre avec confiance. And I managed to respond with confidence. And then I decided maybe I can put that one. J'ai réussi à faire bonne impression. Okay? To leave a good impression. Okay? Any questions on that? Anaya, you look so miserable now. What's up? I wanted to smile.
No, I'm learning some new words.
Oh, yeah, but that's the whole point. I can't be on the live and not teaching you a couple of words.
Right, that's just it. Never heard these words, and I've never used idioms before, so I'm here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good to have idioms, okay? All right. Okay, so now I'm going to prompt number 3. Yes? Describe what this opportunity involves. So, cette bourse covers mes frais de scolarité et mon logement pendant 3 ans. So, this scholarship covers my university fees, okay, et mon logement pendant 3 ans. And my accommodation, logement is accommodation, for 3 years. Okay? Okay, I put frais de scolarité because I would think that that's the one you know best. But really, it should be mes frais universitaires because it's universitaire because it's at university level. Scolaire is school, okay? So I put, so I'm going to put here mes frais universitaires. Donc, cette bourse couvre mes frais universitaires et mon logement pendant 3 ans. So, the opportunity is that it's an excellent occasion, or c'est une occasion incroyable, but I remember that I had used incroyable, so I put c'est une chance en or. This is another expression, a golden opportunity. C'est une chance en or pour améliorer mon français, to improve my French, et découvrir une nouvelle culture, and discover a new culture. I'm surprised that no one mentioned that. If you go to France, you're going to improve your French and you're going to discover a new culture. Isn't that true? Isn't that true? Yeah. So I expected to see that, but nobody mentioned it. Okay.
Oui,
So,
madame.
so cette bourse prend en charge is the same as covers, okay? But prendre en charge is obviously an expression, okay? And chance en or. The nice expressions, you see, I put them in a different color so that you can see them, okay? So I'm assuming that the rest, which is not in color, you know it. All right? Yes. Okay. Prompt number 4, and I think it was the last one. Outline the preparations you will make for your trip to France. So I put two versions. I put the one which maybe you would put, and then the other ones with the expressions. Avant de partir, before leaving, je vais préparer mes documents, améliorer mon français et acheter des vêtements adaptés au climat. Because remember, if you go to France, the climate would be very different from what we have in the Caribbean. So maybe you want to buy a couple of jumpers before you go there. All right? Now, with the expressions, avant de partir, je vais mettre les bouchées doubles pour progresser en français. Alors, mettre les bouchées doubles, okay, bouchée double means you're going to double your efforts, okay, to improve, to make some progress in French, okay? Because when you go over there, you want to be, a bit better than what you are now, okay? And then I'll finish off with à très bientôt, and then I will put my name. Don't forget to put your name at the bottom, okay? And that is my letter. So I think that's it. All right, so this was my letter, okay? I'm not expecting you to write like me. Remember, I'm a French speaker, so I don't expect you to write like that. But I would like you to step up a little bit and also avoid making some mistakes, okay? And now I'm going to show you the vocabulary that, just in case you get something which is similar, this is what I used in my letters, okay, in my letter. Décrocher une bourse to win a scholarship. Grâce à, thanks to. Par hasard, by chance. Avoir le trac, to have butterflies in the stomach. When you feel, that is avoir le trac. Prendre son courage à deux mains, to pluck up courage. So I did use this, if you remember, okay? And then I use more. Faire bonne impression, to make a good impression. Prendre en charge les frais, to cover the costs. Une chance en or, a golden opportunity. And mettre les bouchées doubles, to double one's effort. All right? But if you look at the other lives I did on the letter, or if you look at some of the videos I did on the letter, especially there was a year where I did probably 3 letters in a video. I don't know if it was, I can't remember, it was video or lives, but there will always be probably a different start and different expressions, because remember, the expressions comes according to the topic, okay? Here it was about a scholarship, but I remember there was a letter which was about visiting a zoo. I'm not going to be using the same expressions. You see what I mean? So it's all depends on what you're going to get on the day. All right? Make sense?
Okay. Yeah, oui, madame. Oui, madame.
Yes. So before we finish this live, I want to talk about 2 things. I have noticed that most of you use dear, okay? Dire will work if you don't have an object. Otherwise, you have to use parler. Okay? Parler de quelque chose. Parler de, to talk about something. Okay? But you can't say that, that you can't express this idea with dire, because I'm noticed you all use dire, and I don't know why, because parler, parler de works very well. And you don't need to say parler à propos de. You don't need that. It's a lot of words to mean the same thing. Okay. And also you have to count your you have to count the number of words as well. Okay. So I was within, by the way, I was within the 150. Okay. I was over 130, I think, but because I was putting the additional expressions, obviously it went a bit longer than that, but I was within the word limits, okay? When I calculated the numbers. Actually, I didn't calculate, it's the computer which did the calculation for me. Okay, yes, so it's, yeah. So you have to
Excuse
think
me.
about all this. Yes, Anaya?
Right, you were saying that instead of using the dear, you mean DIRE? Or
Dire, yes. Parler de. Je vais te parler de quelque chose, not dire de quelque chose. Dire doesn't is not followed by de. Okay? Okay, and the
teachers.
other things that I've seen a lot today is the misuse of the object pronoun. Okay? I don't know why, but maybe because of the translation, because in English you say talk to me, or I ask him. So you're going to say I ask him, the him after the verb, but in French is always before the verb. I'm going to share something with you. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see uh, the. Can you see this French action? Can you see that?
Oui, madame.
Okay, so here you can see je vois Paul, je le vois. Je parle à Paul, je lui parle. Okay, so the video on mastering object pronouns in French, direct versus indirect, everybody has to watch that. And the it as well, how to say it in French, you need to use that. And some, how to say some as well, because, and French word order, because you make those type of mistakes. Okay, so make sure that you look at all this. I mean, I can't go through all this now, but it's very important for you to know how to use pronouns, because in your letter you're bound to be using a pronoun, an object pronoun, is you're bound to do that. Okay, so you still have time to work on all this. And remember as well, the well, if you don't watch the video, I'm telling you now that most of my videos, when I teach something, I always have a little exercise at the end, even if it's 3 sentences, but at least you have an exercise, and then I put the answers after, so that you can see whether or not you got it right. Okay, so you have to look at those, because you don't want to make those kind of mistakes. Any other questions, Ania, El Nathan, and the audience? Any other questions?
I put it in the chat, I think.
Ania, we're not seeing you. Yes. What were you saying?
I put it in the chat.
Yes, I did see that. Okay. All right. So if I don't have any questions, then we're going to put an end to this live. And before that, I would like to thank Anaya and El Nathan. It's very, very good. You have done your best today, but you will be working again, I'm sure, so that you can improve. Okay. And thank you to be with me because, as I said to you before, you are brave. It's not easy. All right, so I'm getting a question. Do you have any tips for preparing for the dialogue? Okay, you're talking about the contextual dialogue. All right, the tips for the dialogues, for the contextual dialogue, I have put them in videos. So that is, again, on YouTube. I'm sure that if you type contextual dialogue, you should be able to see one or two videos on that because all my tips are on it. Okay, right. And as I said, I mean, these videos are not, I mean, I'm not doing videos from today. I've been doing this for a while now. So everything on CSEC is already there. Okay, paper one, paper two, paper three. Okay, I can share my video again, my channel so that you can see what I mean. But you see, when you are on this on French Action. Okay. So on my computer, I don't know about the phone, but on my computer, I'm looking at contextual dialogue. I should be able to see something. And here we go. We have tips and example, and we had contextual dialogue here. We have contextual dialogue. It was so long that I had to put it in two parts. And all right, we have 4 videos on contextual dialogue. So all is there. All right, so you can just type what you're looking for, and then you have the playlist. The playlist, there's a big playlist, but you have to look at where it says CSEC. And here you have CSEC paper 2, CSEC paper 1, CSEC paper 3. Everything is there. So when you have the playlist, you can just look at what is there. And you're going to see that there's a lot of things there. Okay? All right. So for anybody who wants to join me, you can't ask me to join here. You have to contact me privately. It's frenchaction1@gmail.com. The email address is in the description of the channel. Okay. I try to do a few things on Instagram, but guys, I don't have the time with Instagram. Too much work. I can't be doing things every week. So I had started, but if you go down my Instagram, you're going to see that I had done, I think it was last year. I think it was last year or the year before. I can't remember. I did what I call a vocabulary marathon. So every day for 2 weeks, I give you uh, three or four words to learn. So you can go through that and see how much or how many words you knew. And if you don't know the words, you have to learn them. Okay. There's also a video which I did recently, actually. I think it was this year or maybe the end of last year. I can't remember what it was called, but it's CSEC. It's all to do with the CSEC vocabulary. Okay. Yes, the most common CSEC French past paper vocabulary. So what I did, I went through what has been there before, and there are some words which come back, and you have to make sure you know them, because if you don't know them, you'll be stuck. All right. So I just went through all this and I came up with this video, but you're not watching it. So most common CSEC French past paper vocabulary, this is something you have to watch as well. Okay? All right. So I'm going to let you go and have a good evening. To the audience, merci beaucoup. And today I have to say I feel good because I've noticed that there are some students here who delivered good stuff. So that's very good. It's very encouraging. What I don't like is when I see too many mistakes, and when I finish the live, I say, oh my God, how are they going to manage? But today I'm not feeling that way at all. So I'm very happy. All right. Okay. So I see you soon, and please continue to work. Anaya and El Nathan, merci beaucoup. Au revoir tout le monde. Au revoir.
Au revoir.